Hello. So for my topic, to talk about what I think is most interesting in me is sleep. The reason why I think sleep is so important and that what we all need to get like a concept of is because sleep is just it allows our body to finally recover throughout the hard work we've been pushing and grinding throughout the day. For me, I love sleep. I love to sleep because it just literally takes everything off my mind. I get to finally relax and just be at peace. And I love being at peace. No distractions, no noise, nothing to be aggravated about or nothing to be worried about. It's just literally allowing your mind to just completely be at a state where you can just focus on nothing. And I just enjoy it. Is something that I have always wanted to spread the word on how important it is, even to my friends and everybody I know, because us college students we can get in the habit of not getting enough sleep because we're trying to caught up on all the stuff that our life is filled with. For us, it could be classes, studying, homework, um, or even just outside of school responsibilities of just taking care of our bills or groceries or stuff like that. We can get overwhelmed by just trying to get on top of things and not focus on what our body really needs, which is rest. And I feel like we need to be able to learn how to balance all these things in our areas in our lives so we can be able to betterly improve in our sleep and rest. And when we do that, we can have so much benefits, which I'll be talking about later in my video. So I be, for first I want to talk about the amount of hours of sleep and what we actually need. Um, every age, like a certain period of age, we need a certain amount of sleep. For ages 3 to 5, well, first babies at first they need almost a full 20, full 12 hours of sleep. So ages 3 to 5, they need 10 to 13 hours of sleep, including naps most of the time. So that's why you see preschoolers preschoolers they normally take naps during their classes because they need that amount of sleep in order for them to keep going throughout their day. For ages 6 to 12, they need about 10 to 12 hours of sleep. For ages 13 to 18, teenagers, they need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep, which is, I can already know that's not really the amount of sleep teenagers normally get. I remember when I was in high school, I barely got about 8 hours of sleep, which is a habit I tried to break as I was growing up. And for ages 18 to 60, they need about 7 or more hours. The minimum is 7. So as you can see, the younger you are, the more sleep you actually need in order for your body to function. And the older you get, you don't need as much sleep. But that doesn't mean that we're supposed to be going to sleep less than 7 hours. We still need at least that minimum for our bodies to keep on going and pushing and function the way it's supposed to. So what is sleep really good for? Sleep is good for so many things. It can help us in so many ways. When I have a good, consistent, good amount of sleep, I can be able to function. I have energy to be able to do work. I have energy to be able to study, energy to be focused in my classes. Just being able to have full enough energy to keep going and striving. Sleep for me, I don't normally get colds as often. I don't normally get sick. I normally stay pretty healthy, especially if I continue to work out and eat the right things. Sleep is just it's good for lots of things as well, and the more we practice it, the more benefits in our bodies we can see growing as well. Now, the poor things about sleeping affects us. It can limit our immune system to be able to fully do its work. It won't have enough strength to fight off diseases and colds, and even minor issues that we may face in our bodies. And it can develop worsening issues, such as high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, and even sometimes, when I notice I don't get enough sleep, I get frequent headaches. That's one of the causes of headaches is poor amount of sleep, that or dehydration or not enough food. And sometimes when I don't get enough sleep, it can be obviously noticed. I either feel grouchy or irritated, and sometimes even emotional, because my body is just like totally worn out and it's trying to keep going as I'm going through my day. But I really need to just lay down and sleep. And there's been bad habits of sleep. For many people, they either for people who don't get sleep, they either run to caffeine because their body's already tired, but it's trying to keep on going. And using caffeine isn't really that good for you. Now there's natural ways of having caffeine, but just caffeine in general, it can provide irregular heart rates, anxiety, and give you a hard time going to sleep at night. I know all the coffee drinkers out there, you guys love the coffee, but long term, having that type of caffeine isn't good for you. So yeah, it's not really good for you. Also, being able to, some people often take melatonin. Some people have really hard time sleeping at night, and based on some of the videos I've watched, 5 to 10 milligrams of melatonin, like the little capsules you can take, it's actually like overdose in melatonin. Your body doesn't need that much. It needs anything between 0.05 and actually 0.5 to 2 milligrams. So it doesn't even need that much if you're going to end up taking the melatonin in the capsules and pills. And sometimes for us as well, just the amount of hours we're getting to sleep. Sometimes we don't think we don't need that. We can be able to sleep less during the week, but then on weekends we can like recover by sleeping like 12 hours. But our bodies needs consistency in order to perform that homeostasis. It needs to be able to maintain a certain amount of sleep. So if you're going to get 7 hours, if you're going to go to bed at 8 and wake up at 6:30, you need to maintain that schedule throughout every day, and not just be like, oh, I go to bed at 3 a.m., wake up at 6, get 4 hours sleep, and do that for like 4 days, and then get 8 amount of hours of sleep on another day, and then sleep for 12. It's just inconsistent. Your body can't. It's not good for your body to practice that inconsistency, and it can cause you long-term effects later for your body. And your body will tell you that it's not liking the system. Your body needs to be able to be consistent so it can maintain the same function every day. And for us going to sleep, it's important for us to be away from our telephones and our devices. That blue light keeps our bodies awake, and it doesn't allow our bodies to go down and be able to slow down in our minds the process of being ready to go to sleep. We need to at least turn off our media or phones 30 minutes before we go to bed. We need to be prepared to prepare our minds to be able to be in that state of going to sleep, either just by laying down those 30 minutes, allowing your mind to get rest, or even just by doing that, gets our mind is in that position to be able to go to sleep. There's so many other factors in our life as well that plays a role in our sleep. We need to make sure we're eating healthy as well, and having proper physical health as well. It's noted that if we working out that night before you go to bed, it actually can help your body help your body feel tired, so it helps you go to sleep. I do that all the time. Every time I work out, my body's drained and ready to go to sleep, and I'm able to sleep faster, and then be able to just enjoy my sleep instead of forcing myself to go to bed. Also, one thing we also be aware of is not being able to eat heavily before we go to bed. Eating heavily can cause our bodies and even our stomachs not to be really happy with us at all. So that's just one factor as well. Again, being able to find that same schedule and sleeping consistently helps us be able to perform that homeostasis for our bodies and be consistent. So that's for me. Sleep is very important. I believe without sleep in our lives, our bodies can't fully function a proper way, And we need to be able to, as students, really find ways to manage our time wisely on making sure we can get that right amount of sleep in our lives so we can be able to do better, function better, and feel more alive as we're out in our everyday lives, going back to back. So yes, that is my presentation. Thank you so much. And yeah.